The weather. It gives us life, and it takes it away.
The tornado has touched down.
You can't do anything.
It is a thing of staggering beauty and a destructive force, killing thousands every year.
The windows all blew out.
The whole thing's gone.
Holy crap.
It was the end.
It is gone. The building is gone.
And our warmer atmosphere is extra energy for our weather to unleash upon us.
Oh my God!
We meet the people who came face to face with Mother Nature and filmed it.
I've been fighting it for an hour.
I'm gonna sick to my stomach.
Holy! I just lost my house.
We hear firsthand how these people survived.
Oh my God! Get in the house!
He's alive. He's alive.
It's pretty much the end of humanity.
I was really convinced I would die.
Using their incredible self-shot footage, we stare straight into the eye of the storm. And witness up close the sheer force of nature.
Oh my God, look at that! Oh, Jesus. Everybody take cover, now!
Coming up in this episode, America's deadliest tornado in 60 years tears through Joplin, Missouri. A flash flood rages through the German town of Braunsbach.
The Feuerwehr!
And a man is shipwrecked underwater for 3 days.
He's alive. He's alive.
Finally, we seek out some holiday weather. Turned deadly.
And a report of a tornado on the ground. On the ground, that's right. There is a report of a tornado has touched down in the city of Joplin.
On the 22nd of May, 2011, America's deadliest tornado in 60 years tore through the city of Joplin. Hours before the tornado, the people of Joplin were enjoying an ordinary Sunday afternoon. Terry Edens was working as an ER nurse at St. John's Hospital.
The sun was shining. There was families walking around the walking trail at the park, and overall just a beautiful day. But the air was heavier than normal. It was like difficult to breathe.
3 miles west of Joplin, a giant thunderstorm was twisting into a monster tornado and carving east towards the city.
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, I see it. See the end of it there. Big tornado.
Big tornado.
At 5:17 p.m., municipal alarms began sounding. Property manager Colby McGehee had just moved to Joplin. This was his first tornado. He had no idea what to expect.
I wasn't at all aware of what tornadoes were or what a tornado siren was, so I got quite the introduction to one. First time I heard a tornado siren was actually when I was in a tornado.
20 minutes after the alarms, the tornado ripped into Joplin. The St. John's Hospital took a terrible hit.
We were all standing around in our patient rooms taking care of our patients, and a security guard came running in through those ambulance bay doors, and he said, "Everybody take cover, there's a tornado coming."
It sucked out 1,200 windows and destroyed the hospital from the inside out. Next, it smashed through the southern suburbs. Sean Lemieux and his wife were visiting friends with their 2-year-old son.
Come on, let's go, Doug.
They had no storm shelter, so all 5 of them, including the little boy, were hiding in the bathroom.
Adria! Get in here! Get in the bathroom!
Doug, come on. Okay, son. Gee, right. Ow.
Oh my God.
You guys okay? We're all right. All right.
Every minute, the 200-mile-per-hour winds obliterated 200 more houses. 10 minutes later, the edge of the storm hit the Conway Truck Warehouse, where Vincent Dudley was a mechanic.
We closed the doors. We felt the wind start to push on the door, and it was bowing in on us. So then we went down inside of the oil change pit. We just told each other to hold on and hope for the best.
The roof was ripped clean off the building.
Oh, man!
The door was blown in. Landing on top of the pit, it became their only protection from above. At the same time, East Middle School got a direct hit. The security cameras reveal what it was like inside. If it hadn't been the weekend, all these rooms would have been filled with pupils and teachers. At 6:12 p.m., the tornado left town and blew itself out, but 25% of the city of Joplin was now destroyed. Sean Lemieux and their friends were among tens of thousands of people emerging from their homes.
Oh my God. Oh my God. We have no house left. None. The whole thing's gone. Oh my God. Well, look at the houses.
All over the city, people were shell-shocked.
Cars tore up. Never seen anything like this before.
I grew up around here my whole life. I've lived here my whole life, and I didn't know where I was at. I couldn't tell one street from the next street. I had a hard time navigating through the city because I didn't recognize anything. I didn't know where any buildings were at.
Colby McGehee was driving round town in disbelief.
It's basically like a scene out of a movie when a bomb goes off.
Of the 160 people killed and the 1,150 injured, over half of them were in their homes. Some vehicles were flung over 330 feet, and others were never found. Even the tarmac was lifted off the ground in places. Unbeknown to Colby, hundreds of people were still trapped inside this shopping center.
Going through that Walmart and seeing cars with the sheet metal on their door peeled up and off of the actual door, I couldn't process what force could have caused that.
You need a ride?
We're gonna see if our car is still there.
Yeah.
But
This is the Walmart here? Yeah. Do you need a ride somewhere?
No. I'm just gonna see if my car, it should be right over here.
All right.
And I remember driving through and people whose homes were hit, them already cleaning up. Like, they were kind of zombies. A dazed look. There was these blank looks, and I remember this elder gentleman whose home was brick, and I remember him stacking bricks already, just an hour after the tornado, just like, well, I don't know what else to do besides pick up the pieces. I was in complete shock. I was trying to process what I was seeing, and it didn't make any sense.
It was like somebody just wiped it out. Just took an eraser on the whiteboard, just erased it. It was not comforting at all.
St. John's Hospital was destroyed, killing 6 patients, but hundreds more needed urgent treatment.
We went and looked out the ambulance bay doors to see how extensive it was, and all you could see was there was at least 150 people walking up to the hospital, looking to us for help, and we didn't have necessarily, had to hunt and find what we needed to take care of them. And there I would reference a horror movie.
With no power and darkness falling, they had to improvise.
We were operating and working under flashlights, our cell phones. We used a lot of our cell phones with the glow of the screen, and that was all that we had. At that time, it just seemed so overwhelming, the work that was going to have to be done to put it back right.
Rebuilding 10,000 homes, shops, offices, and the hospital has taken 4 years and cost $3 billion, making this the world's most expensive tornado. From the alluring EF0s to the killer EF5s.
Look at this devastation.
Tornadoes, known as cyclones in the Far East, are the fastest, most violent and destructive winds on the planet.
Never seen anything like this before.
These vertical vortices of air can reach speeds of 300 miles per hour and flatten concrete buildings.
We are in a tornado! We are in the tornado! We are in the tornado!
But why do they form? And where are the danger zones?
Oh my God!
Tornadoes occur on every continent on the planet, except Antarctica. But they're most common in Tornado Alley in Midwest America, stretching from North Texas to South Dakota. The peak of the tornado season, from April to June, is when 5 key ingredients come together, more often here than anywhere else in the world. First, cool, dry air from the west comes over the Rockies and meets warm, wet air coming up from the Caribbean. Then, giant thunderstorms form where these two air currents meet. These storms encounter lift from the mountains, the warm, wet air, and shear, which are differing wind speeds at different heights. These rotate the storm and roll it into giant horizontal cylinders of rising air and falling rain. They are now supercell storms, and they can be 10 miles high. Finally, the horizontal roll itself twists in rising and falling air currents. One end is sent skyward, while the other touches down, and we have a tornado. It is fueled by warm, humid air shooting up through the tunnel, and it'll carry on twisting until it runs out. In 2013, the crew of a tugboat lost their battle against the storm, 12 miles off the coast of Nigeria. The drag of an oil tanker in large swells flipped the boat and sunk it with 12 crew. 3 days later, professional diver Nico van Heerden was looking for dead bodies.
There you go. So it's gone. Is it gone? Okay, keep going. Clap it, clap it.
I'm a commercial diver in the oil and gas industry, so I've never done anything like it before. Recovering the bodies was something out of everyone's comfort zone.
The tugboat was upside down on the seabed, 100 feet under the water.
We took a couple of bodies out there, checked through all the doors, all the rooms, one by one going through inside, they're checking if anyone's inside. And now I've located a stairway.
Okay, so have you come?
They had 3 bodies left to recover, and they were just entering the bottom deck of the ship.
Walking on the ceiling, yeah? Okay. What's that? Oh, okay. Shit, that's horrible. All right, you found one, yeah? He's alive. He's alive. Okay, keep him there. Keep him there. All right. Just. All right. All right. Just hold him there, okay? Just keep him there.
Well, I dropped into my shoes there. I can't even explain to you how I felt then.
60 hours after the sinking, no one expected any survivors.
All right, just reassure him, pat him on the shoulder.
Harrison O'Kaney was the ship's cook and had somehow survived in this tiny pocket of air for almost 3 days.
I was crying at the same time. I'm so excited that I've seen a diver, that I believe that I'm going to survive.
Waiting in the pitch black, he heard his shipmates stop calling for help, one by one.
Nobody could hear me. So I was there and I keep praying. I keep on praying, singing songs. I tried to get out of the boat more than 10 times, and I was like getting weak. If death wants to come, let it come, because I've tried my best.
From the basket, he can take the airline in there. Calm down, my friend, calm down.
No one had ever survived in an underwater wreck this long, but he was virtually out of air and could drop dead at any moment.
You can see that even him, he's very disorientated. If you look at him, the way that he's breathing, you can see that it's very difficult for him to maintain a normal breathing rate.
The air was full of carbon dioxide and therefore poisonous, and they had no spare breathing apparatus.
Looks like the CO2 is going to be killing him, eh? Yeah. Okay, CO2.
No one had planned for this, and fetching the spare mask and oxygen took an hour. Harrison had no choice but to wait and hope.
If you allow the tension to come inside you, you die quick. But if you remain calm, you could control the situation.
Harrison's survival was still in the balance. He had drunk just half a can of soda in 3 days. He even worried that they must have thought he was a ghost.
So he was afraid. He was thinking I'm a ghost in his mind. And that is why he brought the water. I should drink it. And he was looking at me. He was afraid.
Shift the umbilical around. Shift it. Okay.
Left over one. Slowly, my friend. You got it, man. Slowly.
The equipment arrived, and Harrison's life depended on making his first ever dive. But he was so delirious, he couldn't even sit upright.
The helmet was so heavy in me, I couldn't raise my head up.
What's your name? Harrison. Okay, Harrison. My name is Colby. Okay, and I'm gonna bring you home, okay? What is your rank? You're the cook. They always survive.
The ship was upside down, so they made their way down 2 floors before emerging into the open sea.
Doing a very good job, my friend.
They had to reach the diving bell 30 feet away, but Harrison was becoming less and less responsive.
Harrison, are you holding the green rope, yeah?
My friend, this one. Hold on.
Harrison, hold the green rope.
This one.
Yeah. Take his hand. Hold his umbilical, pull him towards you, please. Grab his umbilical, please, and pull it down. Hey?
He's passed out.
Oh, is he passed out?
Yeah, up on his umbilical.
Up on his umbilical. Pull him.
I'll see you.
Pull him. Open his onboard gas. Open all the onboard gases to the bellman. Open his free flow.
It was now a race against time to get him into the diving bell.
Oh, no, he's alive. All right, stick his head in. How are you feeling, Harrison? All right, very good. You scared me there.
As soon as he was inside, Harrison wanted to know where his other crewmates were.
We had to tell him that we haven't found anyone else. And then while we were going up, we started crying. It was so sad.
All right.
So when he told me you are the only survivor, I started crying because I didn't believe it.
Get him to sit down, okay? Give him some water, please.
All the others had perished, but by surviving for 3 days underwater, Harrison had made maritime history.
In my personal opinion, if it was me and I was trapped there, I would have probably drowned trying to get out.
And he is now training to be a professional diver.
I was rescued. I have to rescue somebody someday. So that's why I want to go back to the diving profession.
For Nico, this dive went from the most traumatic to the most rewarding of his life.
I'm just glad that I've got a friend in Harrison, because there's a bond between us that is, I mean, if you save someone's life, there's not much better than that.
Deadly weather can ruin your life, but sometimes it just ruins your holiday. These poor holiday makers find out what happens when holiday weather gets bad and downright ugly. Imagine being on your night flight, dreaming of a warm beach, and you get woken by this. Yes, apparently lightning can strike a plane. Each aircraft is struck every 2 years on average. These guys in summer clothes and an open-sided Jeep have been gold panning. 10 minutes ago, the weather was a balmy 32 degrees Celsius. Now it has plunged to 10 degrees. The winds are 45 miles per hour, and there's a hailstorm. New holiday rule: if you hire a Jeep, take the sides with you. Taking a holiday in unfamiliar mountains can be a risky business. This group in the Argentinian Andes have no idea of the danger they are in. They think they are crossing a harmless small stream. Then the guide hears a ground-shaking rumble. For the walkers on the far side of the gully, it's a very near miss. Hurtling at 50 miles an hour, the mudslide gathers rock and speed, but luckily no walkers on this occasion. There was actually a telltale clue. The banks of the gully are wet from a previous mudslide, so you shouldn't really go anywhere near them, and it's definitely not the time to trip over. Trekking in the Indian foothills of the Himalayas should be a zen, tranquil experience, but not always. The boulder weighs a bone-crushing 15 tons. They must have good karma, because if it had fallen just a few seconds earlier, it would have been a one-way ticket to Nirvana. Lots of us love a skiing holiday, and these two adrenaline junkies are making an extreme snowboarding video. They succeed, but not in the way they intended. With his opening jump, the snowboarder in blue sets off an avalanche directly into his friend, the cameraman. The avalanche grows and submerges him. The only way out is to swim upwards, but he has a snowboard on his feet. On the surface, the snowboarder in blue is frantically looking for his friend.
Where's Jono? Where's Jono?
Luckily, Jono manages to dig his way out, but he probably needs a break from filming. Greenland offers a fantastic global warming themed attraction, watching the 100-foot-high glaciers collapse into the sea. This is a near-perfect example. It's an incredible video opportunity.
Wow.
But that wall of water is moving mighty fast. Yeah, I'd probably move now.
Wow.
Seriously. Oh dear. Luckily, everyone survived to tell the tale. And it did make a great shot. Not many people can have claimed to have surfed an ice tsunami. Joy to terror in under a second.
Wow.
So next time you have bad holiday weather, just be grateful that you're not under an avalanche, a mudslide, in frozen hair, or being struck by lightning. Coming up, a flash flood rages through the German town of Braunsbach.
The Feuerwehrauto!
A Fedex driver is stuck outside in an explosive tornado. And we discover what makes tornadoes so powerful and so destructive. "24 hours ago, Braunsbach was one of the most beautiful towns in southwest Germany. It was known as the Pearl of Kokkertal, but in just 4 hours, it was turned into a disaster zone, with the worst flood in its 1,000-year history. The disaster began to unfold the previous afternoon, 35 miles upriver in Schwäbisch Gmünd. A storm front moving slowly through Central Europe dropped a month's worth of rain in 2 hours. The flat, wide streets of Schwäbisch Gmünd began to fill up.
Ey, ist der verrückt? Oh Gott, ist der dumm. Der ist doch verrückt. Okay, und? Und tschüss, jetzt ist er weg. Und er schwimmt. Da kann man so blöd sein, du Depp!
Driving into a deep flood is a terrible idea. Cars can be carried away like toy boats. Luckily, this car and the people in it come to no harm.
Sachen gibt's. Das kommt doch nicht mehr raus. Sachen gibt's. Der kommt nicht mehr raus. Auto ist weg. Alter, ist der kaputt? Da sind doch Kinder drin, oder?
But just nearby, parked cars were already being picked up and swept downstream. By 6 p.m., the river Schwäbisch Gmünd had gathered speed and shoots down the narrowing valley. At 7 p.m., the torrent of water hit Braunsbach. For the residents here, there was no warning at all.
The Feuerwehrauto!
Nix, Fernseher haben wir geschaut. Und dann auf einmal ist der Fernseher ausgegangen. Dann haben wir zum Fenster rausgeschaut. Dann haben wir gesehen, dass der Bach hoch ist. Aber es war die Flut da.
Across the street in Hotel Lauen, Heike and Thomas had 12 guests and staff to get to safety.
Mein Vater meinte, okay, wir müssen jetzt alle nach oben, weil dann kam es schon zur Wirtschaft rein. Die haben noch versucht, die Türe zuzuhalten, aber es ging einfach nicht mehr. Dann kam schon der erste Sonnenschirm, das Fenster rein. Ja. Gäste waren auch noch da, die gegessen haben noch. Und ab dem Zeitpunkt, als der Sonnenschirm dann reinkam, haben wir gemerkt, okay, jetzt ist vorbei. Ich bin nach hinten, weil ich konnte vorne nichts angucken.
This was their view from an upstairs room, stranded with 12 guests and staff. As this floating fire engine shows, even the emergency services were helpless. Just upstream, 80-year-old Hugo had to escape his ground floor flat.
Also es war ein Rauschen, ein großes Rauschen. Und dann ist schon Wasser zur Kellertür reingekommen. Und die haben wir versucht zuzumachen, ist nicht gegangen. Dann konnte man nicht mehr hinten rein, war alles voll mit Wasser. Das ist gekommen vielleicht in 5 Minuten, 10 Minuten ist alles kaputt gewesen.
He joined his daughter upstairs, but the flood raged on through the night. Their biggest fear was that the building would collapse.
Und wir haben nach den Nachbarn geschaut. Bei Nachbarn hat das halbe Haus gefehlt. Und dann haben wir geschaut, wo die sind. Wir haben in der Taschenlampe rübergeleuchtet zu Nachbars. Und dann haben die mit der Hand gewunken. Und dann wussten wir halt, die leben noch. Wen kommen Sie? Kommen Sie überhaupt? Oder wen kommen Sie? Und so war das. Man kann nichts tun.
Back in the center of town, the young mayor, Frank Harsh, was stranded helpless in his office.
I came to the telephone, back to the telephone. I phoned the police, but there was no connection. It was not possible. There was nothing. So in this moment I was alone.
Even the mayor was unable to do anything. As the sun rose on Monday morning, the water was draining, but Thomas could see the damage for the first time.
Am nächsten Tag, ich habe eine Stunde geschlafen, am nächsten Tag bin ich aufgestanden, bin rausgegangen und habe das gesehen. Und ganz wenig Leute waren da, also nur Braunsbacher waren da. Es waren vom Haus sehr viel Geröll, sehr viel Berge von Geröll. Und wir haben nur die Leute angeguckt in die Augen und ich habe geheult. Also es kam erst ein Tag später. Oder eine Stunde später, weil eine Stunde habe ich nur geschlafen. Und dann kam alles rein.
With the water gone, emergency services could finally reach the town. Werner Vogel coordinated the 200-person relief effort.
The disaster in Braunsbach is the greatest disaster I ever seen in my career.
They focused on helping the very old and the very young, but the rescuers also had a grimmer task on their minds.
When I arrived, and see this disaster, I thought many people are dead, and in this moment you feel nothing. You think what you can do and do this what you have learned in your job.
The flood was still over 7 foot in places, and divers were dispatched to look for bodies under the debris. Incredibly, in a town of 2,500 people, the only casualties were 2 dogs. The buildings survived less well. The water simply washed away many structural walls. 15 of the many homes and businesses were condemned because they were unsafe. Heike and Thomas's hotel, which has been in Heike's family since 1880, may also need to be knocked down.
In dem Moment waren wir natürlich geschockt. Wir haben überlegt, wie viel Arbeit es gemacht hat, das alles so aufzubauen. Wir hatten auch erst renoviert.
Hugo's house, that he built with his wife 16 years ago, will survive, but he has lost a lifetime's worth of belongings.
Für mich fängt praktisch ein anderes Leben an. Die ganzen alten Sachen sind weg. Ich muss neu aufbauen.
And the mayor has set himself a deadline to restore Braunsbach to being the Pearl of Cockertal.
We will get a new Braunsbach in 3 years. I promise it.
Will he make it? Only time will tell. Tornadoes generate the fastest and deadliest winds in the world. But just how fast and how deadly do they get? They are so strong that measuring their speed on the ground is impossible.
This one is violent.
Instead, we have the enhanced Fujita, or EF scale, which estimates the wind based on the damage caused.
Oh my God.
EF0 tornadoes will break branches on trees and will have winds of 65 to 85 miles per hour. EF1s will overturn mobile homes, break glass windows, and blow winds up to 110 miles per hour. EF2s are significant tornadoes that rip roofs clean off houses and lift cars off the ground with winds up to 135 miles per hour. EF3s destroy entire walls of houses and overturn trains. Wind speed up to 165 miles per hour. EF4s are violent. They destroy homes but leave some walls still standing, with winds up to 200 miles per hour.
Wow, bro. Are there people in there?
EF5s flatten homes completely. Condemn steel reinforced structures.
Unbelievable. Look at the houses.
And throw cars over a mile. But, mercifully, they only hit inhabited areas every few years. On the 23rd of February 2016, a rare tornado entered the American town of Paintcourtville, Louisiana. Tornadoes are a novelty in the Deep South, and this one was filmed by local Fedex driver, Kyra Johnson.
Look at that. You really can't see it, but I can actually see the move in the gray clouds. Then the rain just come all of a sudden. Tornado watch. Bye, boo.
It's a small, close community, and Kyra had a package to deliver that day to the local hardware store, owned by David Sagona.
I have never seen a tornado, much less been in one, ever in my life, in my 41 years of living.
But up close, this tornado is not so cute, and within minutes it was sweeping towards David's store.
The electricity went off and on a couple times, and then we had an alert over our phone for a tornado watch. Take shelter immediately. And probably within about a minute, they always say you hear a train. Well, I heard about 10 trains coming our way. You could just hear the rumbling. We all took shelter in a bathroom and an office downstairs. I think we had 5 or 6 of us in the bathroom. During the time of the storm, all I could really hear was one of my employees praying real loud.
But Kyra was stuck outside, trying to deliver David's parcel. The tornado was now an EF3, generating winds of 165 miles per hour. The doors of the store were locked, and her only shelter was a drinks machine. In the carnage, nobody inside the store had any idea Kyra was out there.
The store was looked like it actually had a bomb go off in the front. I've never seen big metal beams twisted like a roller coaster rail. It's just unbelievable, the strength of this tornado.
It had grown into the biggest tornado in Louisiana's recorded history. But Kyra climbed up the debris without a single scratch.
Yeah, he was surprised. I think everyone was surprised because when I did come back there and I was like, is everyone okay? He was like, wait, where'd you come from? And I was like, I'm on the outside of the store. So I think everyone was like, you were where? But yeah, I know he was shocked. I was shocked.
To this day, I do not know how she did not get sucked into that storm.
At first I was like, oh God, I'm gonna die. I ran to the front door and I noticed that the doors were locked and the lights were out, and I was like, oh no, everyone's barricaded themselves already, in the back. So really I was about to run back to the truck, but when I turned around, there was nowhere to go because the tornado had already came and things were flying in the air, debris was already flying. So I thought about my kids, my parents, what were they gonna do if I didn't make it? And after those thoughts, it was just kind of like, okay, look around. What's coming your way? What can you dodge? Or is there anywhere that you can go to get safe? So I just stood beside the door in the soda machine and kind of just braced my arms between both of them to shield me from anything that was coming.
Just the whole front wall just pretty much exploded. And for her not to have a scratch is just a miracle.
Strangely, being so close to death has been a good experience for Kyra.
Changed my life in a lot of ways. I met a lot of nice people, a lot of great people, family, a lot of new friends. I think it's opened me up more to people, and I had a lot of anger in my heart, just for other reasons, you know, life reasons. And then like after the tornado, all that went away. It was like, it didn't even matter anymore.
We started talking and we just became real good friends. I mean, we stay in contact. We probably talk, you know, once or twice a week, or text, or, you know, just kind of keep in touch with each other.
Even if it seems like a bad situation, it's really not, because it was like a lesson, a learning tool, and an experience, and something that no one could ever in, you know, life give me. So I'm really excited about it.
But the tornado blew David's business away, causing damages of $900,000. Thankfully, he was insured.
Even though I only have a cement slab right now, you know, that's all material things. You know, I would have really been devastated if someone would have got hurt, much less killed throughout the whole ordeal. Again, I was more worried for safety of the people than, you know, the physical things. All that can be replaced.
I think it has opened my eyes about the weather. Man, Mother Nature's a beast, and she can do some horrible things.
Deadly weather tosses cars around like dinky toys. And yet, inside our four-wheeled fortresses, we often feel invincible. Meet the drivers who take on Mother Nature, armed only with a set of wheels. But who will win? In round one, nature launches an airborne assault with hail, but not as we usually know it. These are frozen cannonballs. Wow. For storm chaser Hank Scheimer, giant hail is an occupational hazard.
Here's the windshield. Oh, God, dang it.
But I think it's safe to assume that forking out hundreds of bucks for new windshields isn't the favorite part of his occupation. Sadly for Hank, after round one, it's weather 1, vehicle 0. Round 2 is in raining Australia. Fast cars, wet road. These Aussie drivers are probably ready for anything, except this. Tropical humidity makes Australia one of the most lightning-prone areas in the world. The lightning strikes just a few feet away, terrifying our driver. So, after round 2, it's weather 2, vehicle 0. Round 3. Thanks to severe flooding, Highway 18 in Sumter, South Carolina is now a river. So the last place you want to be in your vehicle is Highway 18 in Sumter, South Carolina.
What in the world?
Rain's lashing and floodwaters rising. Our family behind the camera can't decide whether this trucker is courageous or a man with nothing to lose.
That's what you call somebody who ain't got a family.
Why is he doing it? Who knows? But one thing's for sure, he just keeps on trucking. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Our trucker beats the flood and avoids the fate of a vehicle that wasn't so victorious. The score is now weather 2, vehicle 1, with 2 rounds to go. In round 4, the Russian driver of this parked car cannot be accused of seeing this weather event coming. A freakish gust of wind rips the roof off the building behind him and slams it down on top of his car while he's in it. At this point, it seems the vehicle has triumphed against all the odds. So convinced is our driver, he attempts to pull away. egged on by an astonished audience. But the weather isn't finished yet. Another gust sends the entire roof structure crashing down. Thankfully, the driver and the amazed onlookers escape just in time. But it's a knockout blow on the car and a literally crushing wind for deadly weather. For the final round of weather versus wheels, we stay in Russia. Bashkiria in the southern steppe is notorious for tornadoes. And this guy looks like he's trying to flee his home before a storm strikes. But he's obviously left it a bit late. The wind actually twists his car on the spot, perhaps so he can say goodbye to his garage. Please note, the walls of his garage are concrete, and they now look as if they're made of matchsticks. And the tornado isn't much kinder to his car either. The final score, weather 4, vehicle 1. So the next time you feel like taking on the weather with your car,
Damn it.
remember, 4 out of 5 storms in our survey will kick your ass. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature at her wildest worst. We've seen how powerless we really are.
He's alive, he's alive.
And next time, there will be more, because weather stops for no one. The weather. It gives us life, and it takes it away.
The tornado has touched down.
You can't do anything.
It is a thing of staggering beauty and a destructive force, killing thousands every year.
The windows all blew out.
The whole thing's gone.
It was the end.
It is gone. The building is gone.
And our warmer atmosphere is extra energy for our weather to unleash upon us.
Oh my God!
We meet the people who came face to face with Mother Nature and filmed it.
I've been fighting it for an hour.
I'm gonna sick to my stomach.
Holy! I just lost my house.
We hear firsthand how these people survived.
Oh my God! Get in the house!
He's alive, he's alive.
It's pretty much the end of humanity.
I was really convinced I would die.
Using their incredible self-shot footage, we stare straight into the eye of the storm. And witness up close the sheer force of nature.
Oh my God, look at that! Oh! Everybody take cover! Now!
Coming up in this episode, a deadly tornado destroys the American town of Moore in Oklahoma.
I can hear it coming.
A flash flood ruins the British village of Glenridding.
I went to the storeroom and looked down, and then it's when I saw the water rushing in.
A tiny change in weather has a catastrophic impact on this skydiver. And we discover why the most dangerous place for flash floods is in fact the desert. Moore is on the edge of Oklahoma City in the middle of Tornado Alley. This terrifying 1,000-mile corridor running up Midwest America gets over 1,000 tornadoes most years. They're usually too small or too remote to worry about, but not this one.
This is an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation. If you cannot get underground, go to a storm shelter.
At 2:45 p.m., May 20th, 2013, a motorist caught the terrifying birth of this EF5 tornado, the biggest there is. It was just 4 blocks away and heading straight for Briarwood Elementary, where teacher Preston Dromberger has a class of 8-year-olds with nowhere to hide.
It was just about time for the bell to ring to release the students and everybody goes home. Our principal came over the intercom and made an announcement, and she just told us that there's a storm rolling in. She didn't mention a tornado, but she said there's a storm coming.
The first people were already in its shadow, trying to predict its path. Joshua Stacy was on leave from a military tour in Afghanistan. He climbed on his roof to get a better view.
Yeah, this was a bad idea.
This was a supercell storm stretching 1,000 miles and capable of delivering more power than an atomic bomb.
This is a tornado emergency for more in South Oklahoma City.
Joshua was now on the ground, but the tornado was so big it was almost impossible to tell where it was heading.
Oh, come on, miss us. Oh, it's coming right down. Oh, my goodness. I gotta save my truck.
A tornado this big could toss Joshua and his truck up to a mile, so he thinks better of it.
Oh, no. It's coming right there. All right. About in it, it's tearing up the building.
The eye of the storm was 1,000 feet away, but still powerful enough to rip his neighbor's roof off.
Well, there's something.
The tornado swung north, avoiding Joshua by heading straight towards Deanna Schofield, alone and terrified in her storm shelter.
I'm scared to death. I have never felt my heart race this fast. I can't even breathe. Oh, I may die from a heart attack before I die of a tornado. And it's dark. Oh God, it's dark.
The path of devastation was now 1 mile wide, and Briarwood Elementary was next in line.
Our principal, Miss Knowles, came over the intercom one last time, and she said, "We have run out of time. It's here. Take cover." As soon as she said that, the electricity popped off.
In the neighboring street, door camera footage shows the 100-mile-per-hour winds outside Charles Gafford's house. They were fast enough to rip off the fittings and suck the windows out of their homes. Charles himself was hiding in an underground shelter in his garage.
You know, you realize that these things of dust that you thought, you know, were dust are, you know, 2x4s and all that debris.
Back in the school, in the pitch black, students screamed at the brutal noise coming from every direction.
It creates this deep rumble.
This rumbling sound just keeps coming over and over, and it resonates through the ground. That people describe it like train tracks, you know, just and
You guys hear it? That's a tornado. I never in my life. Oh God. That is a goddamn tornado.
It was extremely tense, a very scary. It was loud enough that we thought the ceiling was gonna come in on us.
The tornado took a terrifying 3 minutes to tear through the neighborhood. Everyone was at the mercy of the storm, and no one could tell how close they were to it, or how bad it was going to get.
Oh God, please pass, please pass. Please pass, please pass. Please pass.
It all happened pretty quickly. It seems like a dream at this point.
I hope it's over. God, I hope it's over. I hope this is the end. I hope this isn't just the middle of the storm.
This was Deanne's view, looking up from her shelter.
And it looks really shiny and sunny now.
But there was always the awful danger that it could swing back.
We are just in the classroom. We're trying to reassure the students that the sound stopped.
Guys, do you hear the rumble? I'm in the room with everybody except the rumble's going away.
Rumble's gone, guys. It's okay.
There's not a rumble anymore.
Stay down for just a second longer. We're
Stay down.
they won't be able to make announcements, so I'm gonna step out and see what the news is.
Okay, calm down.
Oh my God.
I saw the gym for the first time, and it was destroyed. It was totally destroyed. That's when I realized that, okay, we're not all okay. We did have students that were in the gym when the tornado hit. As I approached the gym, I didn't know what I would encounter, injured students or worse.
Is anyone in here?
They're going out the back door, guys. We're safe. If you guys
Okay.
come inside.
Okay.
And we looked for just a little bit, and then a call came over the radio that the students actually weren't in that area of the destroyed gym, but they were in the locker room area. The PE teacher, Miss Taryn, actually moved the students in the gym. They were in a certain area.
It's over.
And she decided at some point, let's move to this locker area instead.
Are there more kids back here?
There was. Did they come out the other side?
They must have.
Nobody could have survived if they were in this part, but instead the students were on the other side of the wall, where the walls did stay up and protect them.
My stuff is all in there and it's all dark.
Who?
My stuff is all in there.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
gone.
the thing is, you're not. You're okay because you're...
This field is gone.
Across town, thousands of people were coming to terms with their homes being destroyed.
That used to be the house I grew up in.
Ben Martin grew up on Plaza Towers, a suburb that was completely flattened.
That was the 7-Eleven.
My school was the luckiest of the three. There were actually two other schools that were hit by this tornado. One of those schools had students who died during this tornado, and the school was completely destroyed.
7 children were killed at Plaza Towers Elementary School, and 24 people were killed in the town. But almost everyone in Moore was affected by the devastation.
I don't get it. You know, it's not like somebody's attacking you. It's nature, but it feels personal.
Floods kill more people in the USA than tornadoes, hurricanes, or lightning. And the most dangerous place for a flash flood, bizarrely, is the desert. So why would one of the driest places on Earth be prone to flooding? The surface of the desert is so compact and dry that it's impenetrable to water, so when it does rain, it has nowhere to go.
Hold your positions. Whoa, look at that. That is crazy.
Which can be pretty entertaining, as this man in Utah discovers. The original rain fell miles away and is taking with it everything in its path. One of the main reasons flash flooding catches people out is how suddenly it can be upon you. This tranquil Australian countryside scene is transformed in an instant. The swollen river rips down everything in its path and forces our camera person to back away before she joins the deluge. From tiny beginnings grow mighty torrents. In Nevada, it hardly ever rains, but when it does, it pours in raging rivers.
It's flooding down the middle of the highway, down the median, under the bridge, and over this way.
It's easy to feel safe sitting in your car, but worth remembering that in a flood, a car is little more than a bath toy. An elderly couple are stuck inside this car. Margie Miller opens the door, but she is sucked out. Then a bystander tries to save them, but it goes disastrously wrong.
Yeah, there is one coming down, ain't there?
Yeah, there's a car coming. That guy just got swept up in the water.
Margie's husband, the bystander, and the car all get lodged under the bridge. But Margie is sent plunging downstream. Thankfully, 300 feet down, a policeman saved her life by scooping her out. Scarily, flash floods can get much, much worse. The Atacama Desert in Chile is the driest place on Earth, usually. And in some parts it doesn't rain for decades at a time. But on the 26th of March 2015, it rained 50 millimeters in 24 hours. That's actually an average storm in many parts of the world. But here in the desert, this was 7 years of rain in a single day. And the rock-hard ground just could not absorb it. The thundering flood washed away entire villages. 27,000 houses were destroyed, and 127 people were declared dead or missing.
Oh my God.
This downpour on Utah's hard ground shows the beginning of a flash flood, shooting soil and rocks onto the road.
Oh my God.
As the storm intensifies, the force of the water tears the rocky gorge to shreds.
Holy. There's rocks falling off this place.
In just 15 minutes, the rain-fueled landslide closed this freeway. Miraculously, no one was injured. But even experienced hikers can get caught out. Elsewhere in Utah, this dad and his two sons were literally up a creek without a paddle. In a flash flood, the last place you want to be is in a desert ravine with your kids. With just minimal rain forecast, the relaxed trek became a serious race against time. this occasion, they were lucky, but they admitted their next trek will be on higher ground. This biker in Boulder, Colorado has decided he can take a run at this flash flood. Brave or stupid? Let's find out, shall we? He was incredibly lucky he didn't come a cropper as well, and that the only injury he suffered was to his ego.
And there goes my motorcycle.
If you think heat is the biggest danger in a desert, just ask Michael Henau, who took 2 days to find his bike. Desert flash floods are a driver's worst nightmare. 50% of Americans who die in flash floods die in their cars. Electrician Kerry Packer was trying to get home after a huge downpour near Austin, Texas.
The road was difficult to see. I was driving like this, and all of a sudden, I was in a moving river of flash flood water. So it's flooding here. But the good news is that although my car almost tipped over on its top, it didn't. So you can see I'm floating down some sort of creek.
The torrent of water picked up Kerry and his car. Very soon, it began to sink. But his wife was anxiously waiting at home, so he shot this video to let her know what was happening.
In the middle of this weather, I've called 911. They've told me to roll down my windows and stay in the car, and hopefully they'll be here soon. Love you guys. I mean, there was nothing to do but to be calm. Panicking, I think, is what gets most people in trouble.
With no one able to help, Kerry was on his own, and his car was sinking fast. He was wearing too many clothes to swim safely, and he was running out of options.
Soon afterwards, water was coming through the air conditioning vents in my car. I saw a group of trees coming up towards me, or rather I was going towards them. And so I thought to myself, if there's an opportunity to get out of this car and get out of it safely, it's once those trees get close enough. So as you can see, I'm up in a tree because my car, which is no longer visible under the water, was swept into Reinhardt Creek, and I was very, very blessed that it didn't flip over because it almost did. And as it was sinking, I grabbed onto this tree and climbed up about 20 feet up right now. And everything around me is water, as you can see. It's normally dry ground around here. There's about 6 feet of water. I ended up being in the tree for a total of almost 5 hours. So it took quite a while for emergency services to get to me. It was kind of funny because some people ask, wow, 5 hours, you were in that tree for a long time, didn't you get bored? And I said, you know what, I was on the phone pretty much the entire time because my wife was calling me, my sister was calling me. 2 weeks later, I went back to find my car in the woods, so I hiked in about 1.5 miles. And right after where my car sunk was a drop off into the creek bed, and the water there was about 35 feet deep. That is when I realized if I would have stayed in that car any longer, I definitely would have been dead.
When the weather takes a turn for the worse, there's no shortage of people ready to make a show of themselves, doing something really stupid. In dangerous weather situations, you can always rely on your friends to laugh in your time of need. But none of these friends seem to realize they're all on thin ice now. The girl is in danger of drowning as the river keeps flowing under the ice.
I think we should stop.
Eventually, one of the boys stops this accident from becoming more serious. But knowing that the girl's okay.
I got it on film!
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
I got that on film!
When getting snowed in is a real possibility, keeping the only shovel you have outside the house probably wasn't the best idea.
What? Okay, I'm stuck. See, I knew it. I'm stuck. I knew it, look. Can't get out. You better crawl, look at the snow. I'm stuck, Mother.
This guy's hapless efforts are only making things worse.
Hold on to the post. Oh, jumping Jesus, tonight, look what he got done. I'm stuck. I can't get out. I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
What this situation calls for is a bit of calm and forward planning.
Oh, jumping Jesus. Mom, I'm stuck. I can't move. Oh, my God. Look what he got done. Oh, jumping Jesus tonight.
Oh, bit late for that now. Here you go, Mum. Found the shovel. Snow, ice, and a big hill equals endless sledding fun. But add in balancing with a selfie stick, and it's only going to end in pain.
Oh, God!
At least he keeps laughing in the face of adversity. These kids know they're in a dangerous place. As any sailor will tell you, the sea is a cruel mistress, but she's also a fast one. Will the boys be able to outrun her? Looking good. At least they're alive. Just very, very stupid. They're made of tough stuff in Glasgow. This old fella doesn't care that the streets are flooded. He rules them like a boss. Okay, fun's over, lads. Coming up, the British village of Glenridding is ripped apart by a flood.
Maestro, come on, let's go.
We discover how weather affects our furry friends.
All right, just hand him here and then go back and get the armadillo.
And a freak change of wind direction sends one man hurtling towards his own truck. In Britain, it famously rains a lot. But in December 2015, it became a national crisis.
Oh my God!
The hardest hit county was Cumbria, where 45,000 homes were affected. And the hardest hit village in Cumbria was Glenridding. The managers of the Glenridding Hotel had to watch their business get destroyed.
We were at the mercy of the weather. We had lost control.
And shop owner Alan Brown saw his retirement hopes washed away.
It's a change of life thing, especially at my time of life, at my age.
The day before, in the pretty tourist town of Glenridding, Liz and Selina Ali, who run the hotel, were getting ready for Christmas.
Everything was looking beautiful. We had Christmas parties arranged, and we thought, oh, we're in for a good December. You know, bookings were great, and we were all quite excited about, about Christmas.
But on the 3rd of December, Storm Desmond hit the west coast and spread across the UK.
We gauge, obviously, the severity of the weather by the Glenridding beck. So we looked at the beck and said, obviously, oh, it's coming up quite quickly. quite rapidly. We were actually talking about, obviously, Storm Desmond, and we were saying, oh, I wonder if it's going to be a bad one.
The BBC warned us about this storm approaching from the Atlantic, and they got it dead right.
But much worse was to come. In the hills above Glenridding, the deluge triggered a mudslide, filmed by a fell runner.
Oh my God! Unbelievable!
It was heading straight for the village.
The water just changed colour, and you could start to hear rumbles of the bricks and the big rocks, the boulders that were coming down.
Because we are below the water level, so we have to do, obviously, all we could to prevent the unpreventable that it turned out to be.
At 5 p.m, the hotel had 20 guests to feed for evening service.
We kept the guests safe, and we put all the provisions in place for them. And then we went down. We looked down, didn't we? We looked just down. It was the first time I went to the still room and looked down, and then it's when I saw the water rushing in. It looked like a tsunami. We opened the door, so it was, as fast as it was coming in, it was going out. It found its course through the building and out, just taking everything with it that was down there. I couldn't comprehend it. It was all happening too fast. I just didn't know what to do.
Alan Brown's family convenience store was in the river too, just upstream.
We were in the shop till about 5 o'clock, trying to save as much stock that we could. It got up to above our waist, and we just said we had to go. We couldn't stay in there any longer. Looking at it, you were helpless. You couldn't do anything. We couldn't go out because the water was too deep. So we just had to stay in the house and watch it go by.
By 6 p.m, the hotel was in a torrent of water.
Our escape routes became futile because we couldn't escape. We couldn't get out front. We couldn't get out to the back of the building. And we had 30 people, including the staff.
Downstairs, the hotel kitchen had become Hell's Kitchen.
It broke straight through the kitchen door, and also it broke through the windows on the back side of the building. And that's when all the fridges, the freezers just started slamming into walls, slamming into the ceilings.
The waves of water carried on all night. It took 14 hours of flooding before the rain finally eased off. But the problems were just beginning.
We continuously had water running through, not raging water, but it was the beck. The hotel was the beck, and that's the course it had taken. And then we opened the door the next morning and we saw the boulders in the road, and we saw that no one was passing through.
Thousands of tons of boulders, rocks and gravel had filled the riverbed, permanently diverting the river to run through the village. Roads were blocked, so rescue services couldn't reach them. Locals were left with no running water, no telephone, and no idea how to fix their village.
This is Glenridding after Storm Desmond.
Then, 4 days later, it began raining again.
The water was again raging down, and I was crying at this point because we've just cleared everything as well, and it all happening again. And I remember just breaking down and saying, why again? You know, why is it happening again?
Smaller floods recurred throughout January, but eventually, 3 months after they'd started, the rains eased off, but the village was left in ruins.
Fortunately, there was no injuries, thank God. Just broken hearts, basically.
Liz and Selena's hotel was in pieces, and the repair bill came to £1.5 million.
I can remember walking through the corridors just after the second flood and just seeing how dark it looked and cold, and I just remember walking through thinking, is it ever going to be the same?
6 months on, Alan's shop is about to reopen, but Liz and Selena have another 4 months of rebuilding to do on their hotel.
When one of us had like a meltdown where we were panicked, the other one would kind of say, pull yourself together. We need to go and look after our guests. So we kind of supported each other that way, which was great. Otherwise we would, no, there's definitely not, we wouldn't have got through it.
The flood defences are now better than ever, but no one knows for sure if they will withstand another wet winter. We all know the power of water can shape our landscape, but it's rare to see it in action. Here we can see how rivers of ice and shifting glaciers might have shaped our planet during the Ice Age.
Oh, wow. This is freaking amazing.
This strange phenomenon is caused by an ice dam thawing upstream, which released a surge of water and ice, slow moving but strong enough to take everything in its path.
That's a tree! That's a freaking tree! It's a whole entire tree!
Our warmer atmosphere means that flooding is likely to become more common. The 1 Celsius rise in global temperatures has led to 7% more moisture being held in the air. This means more rain, snow, or hail, and probably more flooding. One of the places most at risk is cities. Built-up urban areas restrict water being absorbed into the ground, so it has nowhere to go. This intense downpour in Budapest quickly overloads the street drainage. The road is soon turned into a rushing river, but this cyclist is still determined to go against the current. With predictable consequences. Even moderate rainfall can swiftly create flowing urban rivers. Unlike everyone else in this Montreal street, this young lady naively underestimates the downhill deluge and is swept off her feet by the power of the flooding water. This driver decides the only way to combat this urban flood is to plow through it in his vehicle.
We are literally underwater.
That's all well and fine for him. He's driving a Hummer that's built like a tank.
USA! USA! USA!
But for most people, a vehicle offers little protection.
Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go!
In the face of an unstoppable flood.
Oh my God, oh my God!
Tossed around like a toy, even this 4x4 doesn't stand a chance.
Oh my God, oh my God. Stay back, Layla, stay back!
In fact, in this situation, cars are lethal. The power of urban floods is escalating. This swollen river has been fed by the floodwaters from the city. It's so powerful that it's managed to rip a pedestrianized walkway from its foundations, carrying it downstream. This unstoppable force seemingly meets an immovable object. But the massive pressure of the flowing water, combined with the debris it carries, has catastrophic consequences. Even steel and tarmac are no match for the sheer strength of the surge. With incidents like these likely to increase, it's enough to make city dwellers head for the hills. In April 2011, skydiving veteran of over 300 jumps, Tommy Ferguson, was doing what he enjoys most,
I was up there with 2 other experienced jumpers. We consider this a fun jump.
But a tiny change in the weather would transform his life forever.
Mother Nature has a way of changing in a split second and doing whatever it wants to, and you have to deal with it as you're coming down. I started skydiving in 2006. I'm an instructor as well myself. I've taught lots of different students, probably in the thousands.
One thing Tommy's years of experience had taught him was that the elements always have the capacity to catch you out.
When you're skydiving, you got to realize when you leave the aircraft, the weather may be one way, and then by the time you get down closer to the ground, it may have turned totally the opposite direction. It just doesn't matter how many jumps you have. Eventually, you're going to have something happen that you may not be able to deal with as much as you want to.
What changed so dramatically on this seemingly fine Colorado spring day?
I went ahead and jumped, and I was flying into the wind, but at that point, the wind just totally shifted 180 degrees.
A nightmare for any parachutist. The force of the wind was now behind Tommy, and his ground speed was approaching 50 miles per hour.
If you do hit the ground at a rapid speed, you can roll it off, same as falling off a bicycle, falling off a horse. You're hoping that you don't break any bones or anything like that. You just roll with it and you'll be okay.
But looming into view was something he should avoid at all costs.
Well, at that point, all I was thinking was the fact that I just didn't want to hit the trailer.
With Tommy crumpled and motionless, his friends nearby feared for the worst.
I just saw my friend Tommy die. That's how he described it. But then actually you can hear the gurgling where actually I start breathing in, trying to breathe in. The other skydivers had landed, so therefore they come over to my assistant.
What's your name?
Huh?
What's your name?
Tommy Ferguson.
Hey, Tommy just got hit.
Oh, crap.
After I hit the trailer and was knocked unconscious, I don't remember any of the rest of it. So I'm kind of like you all. I watched this video and go, hey, why didn't that guy miss that trailer? Maybe I got a little bit too fixated on the object I was trying to avoid, and at the same time I went ahead and hit it. I just hit it with my left shoulder.
Miraculously, Tommy had survived the impact, but it was clear he needed urgent medical attention.
It doesn't move at all. God dang it. Yeah, my hand's not moving at all.
I broke 8 bones in that situation. I broke 3 in my foot, I broke my rib, I broke my wrist, I broke my clavicle, my scapula. All the nerves were yanked out of my spinal cord, which runs my left arm, my left shoulder, my hand were yanked out of my spinal cord. When I was in the hospital, they had finally, decided, hey, your arm is not coming back. There's just too much damage to the nerves.
Despite hearing this devastating news, Tommy had only one thing on his mind.
And I just looked at him and said, yep, I'm going to go skydiving with 1 arm instead of 2. That's how I looked at them. And they were like, what? And I said, that's what I'm going to do.
Tommy's accident has given him a new lease of life, and he's determined to not let his disability hold him back. After a few months of training, and against all the odds, Tommy achieved his goal of returning to skydiving.
Your life doesn't stop. It just changes, and you adapt and still live your life to its fullest. Just because you have something happen to you in your life, or a tragedy or an accident or incident, that's not really what defines you. It's what you do thereafter.
I did! Sure. All right!
When it comes to deadly weather, it's not just humans that are under attack. Lava can reach temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Celsius. So when it's cascading down the side of a volcano like this, it's wise to give it a wide berth.
Oh my God.
This lucky pooch is inches from falling victim to the lethal heat of this lava bomb. A word of advice: next time you take your dog for a walk on an active volcano, maybe put it on a lead. From reckless pet owners to heroic animal lovers, when acres of woodland were flooded in Hernando, Mississippi, two guys decided to take their modern-day ark into the woods.
Dad, be careful, do not drown!
One possum right here. There's another one in the woods right here. Better go save him too.
While these friendly possums were grateful, their saviors were graceful, moving like ballet dancers across the flooded undergrowth.
Quit falling down and go get him.
An armadillo wasn't keen on joining our intrepid team. Then again, maybe he was just shy and didn't want to come out of his shell.
Okay, I see him. He's back on that high ground. He's back on this mound over here.
The possums on board are just happy to meet another survivor and show their love for their savior by not biting him when he strokes their heads. Don't try this at home.
All right, you're good.
On a frozen Lake Bavin in Sweden, a group of skaters invent a variation of the Olympic sport, curling. This boar, whose claws can't grip the ice, has somehow found itself out in the middle of the lake and can't get back to the woods. It's always difficult to explain to an animal that you're trying to save its bacon, so the boar continues to struggle throughout its journey to shore. How ungrateful. The argumentative boar is now on thin ice, highlighting the dangers of skating on lakes. But she reaches safety just in time to hear the ice crack behind the camera. Who's on thin ice now? This corgi, who's been taken for a walk in the snow by its owner, is happy to act like a canine snowboard. His owner thinks it's a bit of a drag, though.
Maestro, come on, let's go.
You know, if you're going to call your dog Maestro, you need to accept that it's going to conduct itself however it damn well pleases. In this episode, we've seen Mother Nature bare her teeth.
Oh my God, oh my God.
We've seen how powerless we really are. And next time, there will be more, because weather stops for no one.